Ever found yourself stuck in a situation where there seems to be no way out? You're not alone. Life, in its unpredictable complexity, often presents us with what we call deadlocks, circumstances that seem insurmountable, leaving us feeling trapped and without a clear path forward. These deadlocks are far from rare. In fact, they are a common occurrence in the lives of many, if not all of us at some point or another. The impact of these deadlocks is not to be underestimated. They can cause significant stress, anxiety, and a sense of helplessness. They can hinder our progress, stifle our growth, and even lead us to question our capabilities. It's a tough spot to be in, no doubt. But here's the thing. These deadlocks are not permanent. They're not insurmountable. Today we will explore effective strategies to overcome these deadlocks and move forward. First, we need to understand what a deadlock is. Now picture this. You're in a maze and you've reached a point where every path you can take leads you right back to where you are. That, in essence, is a deadlock. It's a situation where progress is impossible because the conditions necessary to move forward are not being met. It's a standstill, a state of inaction, and it can occur in any aspect of life, from personal growth to career advancement. Let's take a practical example. Imagine you've been toying with the idea of changing your career path. You're stuck in a job you don't enjoy, but the fear of stepping into the unknown is holding you back. That's a deadlock. You're caught in a loop of dissatisfaction and fear, with both elements feeding into each other and keeping you from making a move. Another example could be a conflict in a relationship. You and your partner have a recurring disagreement, but neither of you is willing to compromise. The relationship isn't moving forward and it's not improving either. That's another deadlock. It's a situation where the same problem persists because the necessary changes aren't being made. Deadlocks often stem from fear, uncertainty, or a lack of clarity in our goals. Fear of change, fear of failure, or even fear of success can lead us into a deadlock. Uncertainty, too, can be a major factor. If we're unsure about the outcome or the consequences of our actions, we may choose to stay in our comfort zone, even if it's keeping us from progressing. And let's not forget about the lack of clarity in our goals. If we don't know where we're heading, or if our goals are too vague or unrealistic, we can easily find ourselves stuck in a deadlock. It's like trying to navigate through a dense fog without a compass or a map. Once we understand the nature of our deadlock, we can start to devise a strategy to overcome it. Recognizing and understanding our deadlock is the first step towards breaking free from it. So let's take a deep breath, muster our courage, and face our deadlock head on, because only then can we start to move forward. Step 1 in overcoming a deadlock is acknowledging that it exists. Now, let's delve deeper into this. It's crucial to recognize that we're stuck. It's not about self-blame or dwelling on a sense of failure. Rather, it's about understanding that we're in a situation that requires change. This is where self-awareness plays a pivotal role. You see, our minds are incredibly adept at denial. We often create narratives that keep us comfortable even if they're holding us back. But it's only by piercing through this veil of denial that we can truly begin to untangle the knots of our deadlock. Imagine being lost in a maze. You can't find your way out if you refuse to accept that you're lost. Similarly, we can't navigate our way out of a deadlock if we're unwilling to admit we're stuck. So let's embrace this truth. By acknowledging the deadlock, we take the first step towards resolving it. Step 2 is identifying the cause of the deadlock. With this key step, we delve deeper into the heart of the issue, unearthing the root cause of our deadlock. It's like being a detective in your own life, piecing together clues to solve a mystery. Identifying the cause is not always an easy task. It requires honest self-reflection and critical self-analysis. It's about looking inward and asking, what's truly holding me back? This process can be uncomfortable, as it often entails confronting aspects of ourselves we may prefer to ignore. However, it's a necessary step in breaking free from our deadlock. A good place to start is by examining your thought patterns. Are there recurring thoughts that seem to paralyze your progress? Perhaps it's a fear of failure or a belief that you're not good enough. These self-limiting beliefs can be the chains that bind us to our deadlock. Next, consider your actions, or lack thereof. Are there things you've been avoiding, tasks you've been ignoring? These procrastinations can often indicate where a deadlock might originate. Don't forget to consider your environment as well. Sometimes the cause of our deadlock is not within us but around us. It could be a toxic workplace, a draining relationship, or an unsupportive social environment. These external factors can significantly contribute to our feeling of being stuck. One effective strategy for identifying the cause is journaling. Writing about your thoughts, feelings, and experiences can help you gain clarity and understand patterns. It's like holding up a mirror to your subconscious, revealing what might be hidden beneath the surface. Remember, the goal here is not to assign blame, but to gain insight. It's not about pointing fingers at ourselves or others, but about understanding what's causing the deadlock so we can start to untangle it. Identifying the cause enables us to address the issue at its root and prevents us from repeating the same mistakes. With this knowledge, we empower ourselves to move forward, breaking free from the cycle of deadlock and paving the way for progress and growth. Step 3 is creating an action plan. This is the phase where we put pen to paper or fingers to keyboard and start outlining the steps we need to take to break free from our deadlock. Creating an action plan is like setting up a GPS for your life. You input where you want to go, and it provides you with step-by-step directions to get there. The beauty of an action plan is that it breaks down a seemingly insurmountable task into manageable steps. It's a way of organizing your thoughts, setting goals, and tracking your progress. So, how do you create an effective action plan? It begins with setting clear, realistic goals. It's important to aim high, but remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Your goals should be achievable and measurable, something you can track and evaluate. Next, break down these goals into smaller tasks. Just like how a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, overcoming a deadlock starts with completing one task at a time. Each task is a building block that will gradually construct the bridge that will carry you over your deadlock. After defining the tasks, assign a timeline to each of them. This will help you stay on track and maintain momentum. Remember, overcoming a deadlock is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Be patient with yourself and give yourself enough time to complete each task without feeling overwhelmed. Lastly, make sure to include a contingency plan. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes, despite our best efforts, things don't go according to plan. Having a backup plan in place will ensure that you can continue moving forward even when faced with unexpected challenges. To summarize, an effective action plan is clear, achievable, measurable, has a timeline, and includes a contingency plan. It's your personal roadmap, guiding you through the process of overcoming a deadlock. Remember, the journey might be long and arduous, but each step you take brings you closer to your destination. An action plan provides a roadmap to navigate through the deadlock. The final step in overcoming a deadlock is executing the plan. It's here that the rubber meets the road, where ideas transition into actions. This stage is crucial because a plan, no matter how brilliantly conceived, is only as good as its execution. Taking action can be daunting, especially after a period of stagnation. It's like stepping into the unknown, not fully knowing what lies ahead. But it's important to remember that every journey begins with a single step. Perseverance and resilience play key roles in this process. There might be setbacks, there might be obstacles, but every setback is an opportunity to learn. Every obstacle, a chance to grow stronger. The important thing is to keep moving forward, to keep pushing towards your goals. Remember, a deadlock doesn't define you. It's merely a challenge, a hurdle to overcome. By executing the plan, we can break free from the deadlock and move towards our goals. To overcome a deadlock in life, remember the 4 steps. As we wind down this journey, let's revisit the steps we've discussed. First, acknowledge the deadlock. Acceptance is the first step towards change. By acknowledging the deadlock, you're taking responsibility for your situation and empowering yourself to change it. Next, identify the cause. It's essential to understand the root cause of the deadlock. By doing so, you're able to formulate strategies to tackle the deadlock head-on. Third, create an action plan. Remember, a goal without a plan is just a wish. Your action plan is your roadmap to overcoming the deadlock. Finally, execute the plan. It's not enough to just have a plan, you have to put it into action. As the saying goes, action speaks louder than words. By following these steps, you can overcome any deadlock and steer your life in the direction you desire. So go ahead and take that first step towards the life you've always wanted.